Alright guys, I did a budget clear all missions on Omega. If you need a budget run, look at that video. If I remember, I'll link it in the comments if you need it. But now that we did the budget run, now it's time to do basically the show-off runs. We're going to be going for some OTK clears just for the fun of it. I'm going to do both of these clears in the same video. We're going to start with Terra, and then we're going to OTK it with Sora afterwards. So if you want to see the Sora video, it'll be in the second half of the video. But we're going to start with Terra. Now, fair warning, it is actually pretty hard to kill this guy on turn 2 with Terra. The boss has very high spirit, high fire resist. Yeah, the boss is really hard to two-turn kill with Terra. If your Terra is not very, very well geared, it's probably not going to die on turn 2 and this won't work for you. But if you do have a very powerful Terra, this strategy might work for you. So we're going to use, we're not using Phasey, who cares about her? We're going to be using either Fire Resist or Guts on the whole team to survive the ambush. Realm is for filling LB gauge. I'm sorry, not filling LB gauge. She's going to be for Thunder Amplify and Rod in Peril for our Ibarra, who's going to be a chainer. And she's going to summon an Esper as well. So she just got enough survival to survive her buff, and that's it, and some Fire Resist. Terra base form doesn't really matter. She's got some fire resist to survive. Shift form is just the very classic Terra. Mine is pretty close to best in slot, so you need a good Terra for this. You really do. Sabin is going to be covering on turn 1. He's got 250 fire and 100 ice. You only need 100 ice on the first turn, and we're going to be finished with the fight on the second turn. So 250 fire, 100 ice. He's going to magic cover turn 1. There's his gear. It's all that really matters. And then he's going to shift and chain with Ibarra on turn 2. His damage is not super important. He's mostly just a chain support. Chaos Web Awaken ×4 on the second turn. But technically he does have 75 Machine Killer. And I should mention, by the way, Realm is passive provoke with Super Ribbon, so she can be stop immune. If you don't have Super Ribbon, give her stop immunity from another source, like Garland's TMR, Shiva, etc., etc. So there's Sabin. And then Ibarra is going to support chain. She's just got, I gave her Guts, no fire resist, and she's just got some support chaining skills, or gear, 250 machine, and decent magic. And then the friend we're taking is Redguard. He's got 100 fire in the base form, so all that really matters. He's also got Guts, looking really good. Shift form, really good. If he had Rods, that'd be fine too. We are using Realm for the Rod in Peril, but he's got double STMR, which is, great. And he's got pretty much the same build as me. Identical, other than he has the Miniatures coat. The Miniatures coat is the only piece from Terra's Best in Slot I'm missing, but it's a super minor difference. I've got all the important stuff. Okay, so here's the ambush. It's going to do some fire damage, whatever. So Sabin will cover magic. Realm will Thunder Amplify. And, whoop, not doing that. We are going to Thunder Amplify. And would you pose for a portrait? Terras are going to shift, and we're just going to get them ready to cap on turn 2. And Ibarra is going to get herself ready for turn 2 as well. She's going to debilitating and then just double erase. She can start powering up her modifiers. So Terra needs to Magnus and double release. Let's see, Magnus and double release. And there will be a Fire in Peril with some fire attacks on turn 1, and then an ice attack, and then an ice in peril. The ice in peril comes after the attack, so all you need is 100 ice for the first turn. Okay, so we're going to summon an Esper to say we did all missions. Sabin's going to shift, and we're going to chain on the boss and cap with double Terra. So Terras are going to do something like 1.9 billion, the 2 perfect Terras, and then Ibarra is going to do the other 200 million. So you need your support chainer to chip in a little bit of damage here, because unless you've got like an EX3 Terra, she's not going to be enough to solo cap it all by herself. And there it is. There is our all mission 2-turn Terra clear. So we did 2.14. Yeah, we very barely... Oh no, 2.14 is the damage cap. That's weird. And why is this guy at 1 hit point? I'm so confused. What is going on here? What is going on here? Why are you not dead, bro? I have no idea what's going on. I'm... What? Why are you not dead? Okay. That was technically a 2-turn clear. That Searcher kinda... He didn't want to go away. I'm not sure what that was about. That was weird. That was weird. I'm calling that a 2-turn clear. That Searcher bug, that don't count. That was... What? What was going on with that? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and do a Sora clear. So we'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, next up we're going to do the Sora clear. This is again going to be a quick and easy OTK, but physical damage can only hurt the boss on turn 3. So we're going to turn 3. Because of that, we need to survive turn 2. So once again, we're going to rely on Zahn and his completely broken smoke bomb to totally cheese this fight and get a turn 3 clear. We're not using Shoreline Fiona and Daisy, so the whole team needs either Guts or Fire Resist. Sora is great because he has Guts naturally. He doesn't even need Fire Resist. He just has it by default. So this is the team we're going to use. We're going for a turn 3 clear, super easy. If you have Eileen, she is better than Regina. We're taking Regina just because she's good enough and you don't need Eileen. Eileen makes it slightly easier if she fills the LB gauge, but there we go. So we're going to be using Hallowed Aegis Charlotte. She is going to be our magic cover tank with 250 fire and ice. And she's chosen because she can entrust. Sora's LB is a little expensive, and we're not using Eileen on this team, so filling his LB gauge can potentially be a little bit tricky. So Hallowed Aegis Charlotte can entrust Sora as needed. So she's got 12 auto limit and a lot of resist. This is probably way overboard. You don't need this much, but why not? Alright, so Zahn is our passive provoke tank. He's got, make sure he's using either his TMR or his STMR, or give him a source of stop immunity from like a materia or something. He needs to be immune to stop. I actually failed an attempt previously. I forgot to give him stop immunity. He's provoking the stop on turn 1 and turn 2. We're using Guts because we need Smoke Bomb, so we are not giving him any fire resist. We want him to take a ton of damage in the ambush and go to 1 hit point and survive with Guts. That's going to turn on Smoke Bomb without us having to do anything like Graviga and all that. So Guts on Zahn, he's going to Smoke Bomb, and on turn 2 we're going to use Smoke Bomb and ignore the hybrid attacks. Other than that, he's going to spread the killer buff on turn 3. Regina is just wearing some fire resist. She is literally here just for the killer buff. Now, if your Soras are well geared, you don't even need machine killer buff. You can do it totally without even having a machine killer buff. If your Soras are geared well, I'm adding this just in case you don't have a really well geared Sora and a geared Sora friend. We also gave her some LB, some auto Esper gear. Same thing with Zahn, auto Esper. Same thing with auto Esper on Charlotte. So we can do an Esper on turn 1. There you go. So if you have Eileen, bring her instead. Eileen can fill LB gauge on turn 1 with her Magnus. We're using Lion Emblem to help fill the LB gauge instead. It's optional. It just makes filling Sora a little bit easier. And now Sora, again, wearing some Esper fill gear. We gave him 12 auto limits so we can fill his LB gauge a little bit easier. I gave him fire resist. You don't need it. He's got Guts anyway. It's whatever. You know, why not? It's like he had empty gear slots, so I did it. And then the shift form. This is the important part. You really want to build him double hand if possible. That way you ignore the boss's evasion. If you don't have good enough gear to make a double hand Sora to ignore evasion, you can use dual wield. You'll have a chance to fail if that happens. If the boss evades, you'll just be sad face and, you know, lose your run. But we're going to go ahead and go with a double hand Sora so we don't have to worry about evasion. And we geared him extremely well. This is heavy overkill. I calculated it. My Sora is going to do something like 1.7 billion damage by himself. So we're going to overkill by a ton. You don't need this good of gear on Sora. And then the friend we're taking, no fire resist. Doesn't really matter. Like I said, he's got Guts. That's totally fine. He's got some LB fill gear. This is why I chose him. Call of the Wild. He's got a bunch of Esper fill gear as well. So we don't need it because I've got enough Esper fill gear on my own team. But, you know, thumbs up to the friend for gearing for Esper fill. You know, helpful. And then I chose him because he has double hand. Double hand, ignore evasion. There we go. Double hand, LB damage, machine killer, looking good. We've got 275 LB, maxed out machine. Outstanding. Let's get in here and do this. So the ambush, we're gonna have guts on Zahn, the friend as well, because he's not wearing fire resist, which is, it doesn't matter. It's perfectly fine. There it is. All right. Esper is good to go on turn 1. We'll just use Zahn, summon an Esper, done. Charlotte will cover magic. Regina will just rally and cry to fill LB gauge. And we're going to use my Sora to Infinity to Imperil, Stun Impact for the attack buff, and then Speed Slash to fill his LB gauge. And the friend will just Speed Slash 3 times to fill his LB gauge. Did he level Speed Slash? He did. Outstanding. Okay, and with the auto limit, the friend's already good to go. So we're actually probably not even going to need Charlotte to entrust. But if we did need it, you know, it was there. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and shift Sora, and we're going to get him ready for the kill turn in a moment. So we're going to Ultimate, Radiant, and then Speed Slash. Friend is going to shift. We're going to Ultimate, Radiant, and Speed Slash. Regina can just rally and cry. We don't really need anything from her. Zahn is now going to Smoke Bomb. This allows us to ignore the turn 2 hybrid attacks. If I needed to, I could entrust someone with Charlotte, but we're both full, so I mean, you know, whatever. Charlotte's done. We don't need anything from her. She's going to cover the magic attacks. We're smoke bombing all the hybrid. No damage. And there it is. We basically win. So we're going to use LBs on the swords. But first, we're going to use Regina to anti-machine module. And we never did stun impact on the friend, so he needs an attack buff. So we're going to do that by Reflector, critical on my Sora for the attack buff, critical on Regina for the killer, and spread. We don't got to worry about imbues because Sora's LB is just naturally light element. And there it is. This is going to be dramatic overkill. Yeah, we're going to hit the damage cap here. Searcher, are you going to play nice today and kill yourself, please? What is going on with this craziness with the Searchers? They don't want to die. Go away, dude. That's such a weird bug. I've never seen that on JP. That's a global bug. Anyway, there is the all mission clear with this team, and we didn't need technically to summon the Esper on turn 1. We could have summoned it on turn 3 if you don't have that much Esper full gear. But there it is. There's my 3 clears. I might do like more clears later or something, but I did the budget clear. I did the 2 quick OTK clears. So that's good for the moment. Maybe more later. See you then.